Hey everyone, how's it going? So we're back with some more Explorer and Pioneer content, and today we are playing a Selesnya Gearhulk, kind of mid-rangey overlords. It's going to go a bit of everything really, but this is our first time using one of the new Gearhulks from Aetherdrift, and it's Brightglass, which is probably the best of them, certainly in Eternal formats where the number of one drops, the powerful one drops that it can go and get, just kind of gets bigger and bigger the further back you go. So it's green, green, white, white for a 4/4 with First Strike and Trample, and when it enters you may search your library for up to 2 artifact, creatures and or enchantments with mana value 1 or less, reveal them, put them into your hand and then shuffle. So it's a tutor for cards which cost 1 or less. Basically draws you 2 cards, which is pretty good. And the deck is kind of built around just getting the most value out of that. I mean, playing it once as a 4/4 First Strike Trample for 4 is okay as a stat line, even though its mana cost is a little bit prohibitive. But the ability to then just go and get 2 of whatever you want, 1-drops, is pretty good. So we do have a number of very good 1-drops. We've got Elvish Mystic and Llanowar Elves. Less often that we'll be going to fetch those with Brightglass Gearhulk. That's kind of our early mana accelerant. But we do have 4 copies of Paw Patch Recruit, which is a 1-drop, a 2/1, and it has Offspring of 2. So essentially we can get 2 creatures out of it, as well as being able to fetch it with the Gearhulk, so kind of cheating our way around that restriction a little. It's got Trample, and whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control other than that creature. So if you have 2 of these, because you've paid the Offspring cost, then you are going to get 2 +1/+1 counters whenever the opponent tries to interact with one of your creatures. We've also got 3 copies of Nurturing Pixie, 1/1 for 1 with flying, and when it enters, return up to 1 target non-fairy, non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. If permanent was returned this way, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, so it can come down as a 2/2 flying for 1. You can use that to reset the Gearhulk, to potentially bounce something like a Collector's Cage, to get the value off that again, maybe an Overlord, whatever we want to do really, we can kind of bounce with the Nurturing Pixie. So that is another good 1-drop, and then we can also fetch a Portable Hole or 2 copies of our Duskrose Reliquary, which is a 1 mana removal spell. Essentially, it does cost us, ask us to sacrifice an artifact or creature, but we can remove any other artifact or creature an opponent controls until this leaves the battlefield. So yeah, kind of plethora of powerful 1-drops that we can go and fetch with our Gearhulk. Then we've also got Collector's Cage, so another kind of sub-theme of this deck is the ability to hide an Overlord or something else like an Emeria's Call to underneath the Collector's Cage, use its ability to pump our creatures and then cast the spell without paying its mana cost. Voice of Resurgence, good one to sacrifice to Duskrose Reliquary, as well as being a good 2-drop by itself. Enduring Innocence, one of the most powerful white cards which has been printed in a long time. 3-drop, 2/1 lifelink, allows you to draw a card whenever 1 or more creatures you control with power or 2 less enter, and then when it dies it comes back as an enchantment, so it's very hard for the opponent to get rid of. Then we've got 1 Overlord of the Hauntwoods and 4 Overlord of the Mistmoors. Overlord of the Mistmoors interacts very well with Enduring Innocence because the tokens it creates trigger the Innocence, and then a couple of Emeria's Calls as well. So yeah, those kind of hidden away there, but those are also lands quite a lot of the time. So we are running 23 lands, I think, when you include the Emeria's Call. Plenty of dual lands, as you'd expect. Almost all of our lands can produce green, because I think hitting our 1-drops in green is the most important thing that we could be doing. And yeah, so that's the main deck. In the sideboard, we have a lot of things that we can bring in which are fetchable with Brightglass Gearhulk. So we've got a Deafening Silence, a Giant Killer, 3 more Portable Holes, a couple of... it's been a slightly awkwardly done that. A couple of Haywire Mites, a couple of Ghost Vacuums, a Shaper Sanctuary. So lots of different things which, in various matchups, if we can get them with our Gearhulk, are going to be good against what the opponent's doing. Then a couple of Night of Autumns just for that additional interaction and life gain, and then 3 copies of Bays of the Bounding Spring. Again, this is good anti-aggro. It's kind of anti whatever the opponent's doing. That kind of ability to just generate value based on what your opponent's ahead of you on is very good. But yeah, the sideboard, it's almost like a pseudo wish board. Rather than fetching stuff, we're kind of bringing stuff in that we know we want to get with our Gearhulk. So yeah, it's that kind of versatility which I think will potentially make this a very good card. But I'm interested to see how it does. So we'll play some matches using this deck. So thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe as ever if you haven't already. And let's go on to the ladder. So the Hushwood Verge is a little awkward here, but I think this is a keep. So we'll get Llanowar Elves down, because if we draw a Temple Garden or something like that, we could power out an Enduring Innocence next turn. Okay, Kamano faces Kakazan is fine. So play Collector's Cage. We'll get something underneath that now. So we'll pop an Overlord under there because that's kind of what we want to be doing. It's going to come down as a 2/3, so that is... Okay, well, I don't like losing a creature there, but that's a Wizard's Lightning they're not using against us, so... Right. Yeah, the mana's slightly awkward here, but we can double Paw Patch Recruit. And then let's grow this one. So I think we're going to have to accept 1 turn of damage here. And then kind of just hope that we can get the... Because once we get the Overlord down, it's going to be very hard for our opponent to win, I think. No blocks. Interesting. Yeah, these Verges are sometimes a trap. I've found this a few times, actually, that the lack of, like, basic lands that you play in. So let's grow the Paw Patch Recruit here and the Llanowar Elf. Okay. So we'll get an Enduring Innocence down. Yeah, somewhat awkwardly, we're going to have to wait another turn to be able to grow enough of our creatures. Yep, no blocks. So we go to 9. Right, let's fire off a counter, play Overlord of the Mistmoors. We'll draw us a card. Yep. No, I didn't think they'd stick around after that. So, I think anti-aggro. We want Night of Autumn and Portable Hole. I think we can trim 1 Overlord. Duskrose Reliquary, probably not in this matchup, just because I don't really want to sacrifice anything. Lifelink is good on Enduring Innocence. Paw Patch Recruits is good because it gets 2 creatures on the battlefield. What are we trimming? So we're on the draw. Let's go down one voice and one Emiria's Call. Yep, this is a reasonable opening hand. So I think there's a question of whether we get Llanowar Elf down now or Portable Hole the Soulscar Mage. I think let's start with Elf. That's fine. Okay, so we go to 15. So shock in the Temple Garden. I'll play another Elf. Portable Hole. Get rid of this. And then we potentially have Brightglass Gearhulk on turn 3 if they don't kill our Elf. Yeah. Okay, that's tough, because we're now going to go to 10. Oof. Yep. Better just hope we can survive. Bomat Courier. Yeah, that's rough. So we're going to go to 3 here. Well, let's get Brightglass Gearhulk down. If they draw any non-creature spell, we just die here. So I'll grab 2 Portable Holes. Yeah, this is going to be pretty difficult to get out of this one, I think. Presumably they'll sack. So we'll block. They'll sack the Bomat Courier. Which will get them 2 fresh cards. Now, it could be 2 lands. But it seems unlikely. Yeah. Yeah, we just didn't draw anything playable there on turn 3, and that kind of killed us. So I think on the draw I'll stick in a couple of copies of Bazer. Take out 1 Collector's Cage and the Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Well, that's pretty tough. I think we're going to have to go to 5 here. I don't like it. Okay, well, we do at least have the chance to get down in Enduring Innocence, which, as well as being a lifelinker, is a source of card draw as well. Interesting question here about whether I'm willing to trade with Bomat Courier. I don't think I am at this point, because it only has one card underneath it. The lifelink on Enduring Innocence, if it survives, is going to be quite useful. Okay. So, I could potentially play Baser here, so that would draw me a card, gain me some life. Wouldn't get me a creature, though. I don't think I'd need to quite yet. I think I'd rather have the card off double Paw Patch Recruit. And Portable Hole is potentially going to be quite good here at some point. Maybe get rid of the Bomat Courier. Yeah, Show Off's going to have to die. Can't have that sticking around. Yeah, I'll block and take the rest of the damage here. They might have like a Monstrous Rage or something. Yeah, looks like they do. Okay, I'm on the hoof for a lot of damage here. So I go to 8. Ooh, Night of Autumn was pretty spicy. So, let's get rid of Show Off. Play Night of Autumn. Gain 4 life. Okay, so we're back to 14, which is a pretty healthy life total. And their Bomat Courier is just sticking around here, which is quite annoying. Hardcast Light up the stage. Well, I can live with that. So I probably won't attack with Courier, because I can kill it here without them getting the value off it. Yeah, I'll trade with their Etching. Take 3. Brightglass Gearhulk. Would I rather just play Baser? So if I play Baser, I get the 4 life and the treasure token. But then I am going to 12 just from attacking with Enduring Innocence. Unfortunately, I can't Brightglass and also get rid of the Bomat Courier. So I think let's attack. I'm going to have to proactively prepare for what they cast afterwards, so we'll take 2 Portable Holes again. Right, we'll force the issue here. Yep. So we get 3 cards out of that, which is not ideal. Okay. I mean, they might just have lethal. No, not quite. Okay. So... I go to 5 with Innocence. Then potentially 9 with Baser, although it doesn't get me anything. It does get me a treasure token, actually, so yes, let's play Baser. Play a portable hole. Get rid of Courier number 2. Excellent. Oh, I'm very pleased with that third game. We went from a mull to 5 to a good win. We love to see it. We don't love to see this hand. I mean, it could be worse. The Emeria is technically a land, so I think it's a keep. And a Ledger Shredder. No, you don't see that very often these days. So I think let's double up on the Paw Patch recruits here. Because the opponents, if this is some sort of spells or Phoenix deck, the opponent's likely to have quite a lot of interaction. Yep. So we'll grow both of these, because I might well sack this to get rid of the Shredder in a minute. Given they're going to grow it quite substantially here. Okay, so... Dusk Rose Reliquary. Get rid of Shredder. Then we'll shock in, or bolt in the Emeria's Call. Another Mystic. Play a Voice of Resurgence. Seems a pretty decent turn. And we're setting up for Gearhulk next turn. Okay. So. I'll attack with this elf. Play Gearhulk. So we'll grab Portable Hole. I think another Paw Patch recruit. Treasure Cruise incoming. Cost them quite a lot of mana to do this, which is fine. Oh. Get rid of that. I think let's Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Get another land down. Just put the opponent on a bit of a clock here. That's pretty okay. I get a creature out of it, so get a bigger creature out of it. They're still dead on board. Okay. So, sideboarding for this matchup, I think Deafening Silence, obviously Ghost Vacuum. Maybe get another portable hole, as they seem to quite heavily rely on the shredders. And then 4 cuts. Nurturing Pixie can go in this matchup. It doesn't line up very well with their creatures. And I'll trim 1 Overlord on the draw. Dum. This sounds a bit painful, but I think worth it for the Gearhulk. Do I want to turn 1 Paw Patch? Probably not. It's very much better as a 3-drop. Voice of Resurgence is a decent 2-drop. Okay, this is more traditional Phoenix as we've come to know and hate it. One Phoenix down. That's 2 Phoenixes down. So I think I'm going to want some graveyard hate, although it's probably going to be a bit too late. Mystic. I'll play Collector's Cage. Just because potentially I might be able to get like an Overlord from it. No. Okay, well, I get the spell. I get the Voice of Resurgence trigger at least. Now it all depends on whether they can go off. And they're not planning to this turn, so that gives me some respite. Let's get the Brightglass Gearhulk down. Grab Portable Hole, and unfortunately the Deafening Silence is coming just a little bit too late, so I'm going to grab a Ghost Vacuum instead. Treasure Cruise. Yep. Yeah, I think we're pretty much out of this one. They have a 3rd spell of any kind, which they definitely do because they just discarded a Lightning Axe. Tragic. Tragic. Bordering on tragic. Never mind. I'll stick in 2 more portable holes. Take out 2 collector's cages. Just because hole can hit things like Artist Talent, which slows them down quite a lot. Nope. Yeah, this will do. Oh, what am I putting back, though? Is it Paw Patch Recruit here? I think it probably is. Although, that leaves me without... Putting back land feels very risky, but I kind of want all of this stuff. The trouble is, if they kill the elf, that leaves me nothing to do between turn 1 and turn 4, and that feels terrible. Gearhulk? Or just risk it with the land? Well, I guess we've had to go to 6 anyway. Damn, don't target my Llanowar elf. Reader, they targeted my Llanowar elf. Okay. Okay, Prophysidetic Memory is a good one to hit with a portable hole. Okay, another land's good. I think we can potentially wait a turn on the portable hole and just maximize our value here. Yeah, actually, I'd rather hit Artist Talent at this point. And I'm just sitting with lots of 4-drops in my hand. Well, I do at least get to grow my creature. But yeah, I really need that 4th land. Oh, they've got Treasure Cruise, haven't they? Although they can't cast it without getting rid of Phoenix here, so that's good. Yep. Yeah, Elf onto a Please Survive is kind of where we are with Elf. Yeah, so they can cruise here, but it's all they can do. And that's kind of okay. Yeah. Okay, so our Elf is going to survive long enough to let us get a Mist Overlord of the Mistmores down. So the 2/1s are going to do good work against Phoenixes here. And they don't have Phoenix, which is good. So let's get another Elf into play. A single Paw Patch Recruit is fine. And yeah, I'll just pass the turn and let my Overlords impend, I think. Yeah, that's A-okay. It's Brightglass. So I think I will take Deafening Silence and Ghost Vacuum here. Just really shut down everything they're trying to do. Treasure Cruise again. That's a bit sad. Yep, go for it. So they'll get a Phoenix out now, but just the one. Unless they could consider another one into their graveyard. Nope. So I definitely want Deafening Silence down here. Each player can't cast more than one non-creature spell a turn. The question is, what am I going to do before that? I'm still a bit short of land, so get Ghost Vacuum down. Deafening Silence. Our Overlord turns online, which will get us some blockers next turn. Be good to have a removal spell for this Phoenix. Oh, not another Treasure Cruise. Yep, okay. So they're going to draw 3, which will let them grow their Prophesidetic Memory. And they're not attacking. Okay, well, that's good news. Well, I think definitely attacking with Overlord here, because I need the trigger. That's fine. So with both Ghost Vacuum and Deafening Silence in play, I'm not that worried about their Phoenixes anymore. So I think I'm going to take a Portable Hole, probably a Dusk Rose Reliquary. Then let's... They will get some value off their Ledger Shredder, unfortunately. So I could take Prophesidetic Memory, or I could take Shredder here. I think I'm going to take Prophesidetic Memory, and then pass the turn. That's fine. It's the only non-creature spell they can cast this turn. Yeah, I'll take 1. I can harvest one of their Phoenixes. Do I want to Reliquary and get rid of their Shredder? Does involve sacking my flyer, but then I'm going to get 2 more probably, so that seems fine. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'll pay. I don't mind waiting. Now, let's get a bit frisky with them here. Go ahead. Gotta somehow do me 12 damage. Okay. 1 hard cast Phoenix. These having first strike means they have no good blocks ever, really, against it. Yeah, I'll take the 2. Chew their other Phoenix. Okay, well that's good. So let's get rid of one of those. That way they have to trade. Not trade. Chump. Even better. No trading inside. No, that's not going to help. Still got first strike. And it has trample. So that is the end. Very good. No, that did well, that deck. Yeah, Brightglass Gearhulk is a hell of a thing. That ability to just fetch 2 of whatever you need. Even stumbling over some slightly awkward mana in places. Did a good job. Interesting. Very interesting. Yes, I think I got 2 mythic wildcards out of that. So let's have a look. Not huge amounts to write home about, but let's open some packs anyway. So we'll grab another Aetherdrift pack. Mendicant Core, so we think we've used that one already to reasonable effect. And a Coal Stoke Gearhulk. Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. Powerful card. Obviously, Overlords were great as always. Some good stuff from Paw Patch Recruit. Yeah, no, on the whole, pretty good. Interesting. Yeah, good Selesnya mid-range deck. Whether it's as good as the Coco version, which is kind of is doing pretty good work. Not sure, but it was good. Good to showcase a new card as well, and that is definitely a powerful Gearhulk. So worth paying attention to, see what it can do in even older formats where the 1 drops it can fetch are even better. But yeah, there's the deck list one more time, so let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. As ever, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.